Hello, I'm Shubhankar Mishra and I'll be talking about cyber crimes. Now, cyber crimes can be divided into various categories such as cyber attacks, cyberbullying, and cyber frauds. Now, something which has been most common to us is cyberbullying. This usually occurs with children that are aged between 13 to age 17. And although this has not been something new for us, this has been coming along for the past decade. And these days, children are being taught in their schools and even their homes to be socially safe and do not leak things that are not meant to be seen by people online. Even though telling students these things, last year during COVID, majority number of students started coming to social media platforms because it was the only way to socially interact with each other. And this has not only increased the percentage of users online but also the number of breaches that occur during everyday lives. Uh, During these times, this effect has been so worse that even in there has been an attack in every 39 seconds. This has been a major threat to our government, and they are continuously working towards avoiding these circumstances. Now, coming to cyber attacks have more dangerous and more severe consequences, unlike cyberbullying. And in year 2020, 80% of the firms had seen cyber attacks in their companies. And it has been said that big companies and major companies have also been dealing with security breaches, and as a matter of fact they aren't able to recognize a breach, and it almost takes around 6 months for them to realize it. And 43% of cyber attacks usually target small businesses because they are more easier and more vulnerable targets to be. And for the final facts, the damage related to cybercrime is projected to hit around $6 trillion this year. So this has definitely been a major drawback to society, and people are definitely working towards it, but this requires more attention and more awareness towards it. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Navdeep and I'll be talking about cyber fraud, one of the biggest problems of the 21st century. Something that doesn't differentiate and happens to people across all strata of society. Millions of people fall prey to scams every year. In this golden age of technology, new inventions surface every day, and so do the people who use them for malicious intent. Part of the reason why so many people fall prey to these crimes is that they don't know about them. So allow me to enlighten you. Cyber fraud is the crime committed via a computer with the intent to corrupt another individual's personal and financial information stored online. Cyber fraud is the most common and threatening form of fraud which takes place internationally. This is a fast growing area of crime that happens over the internet. The cyber world has been expanding and growing throughout the 21st century, allowing fraudsters to hack victims' personal and financial information in a variety of ways. Fraudsters can use the information which they gather to then financially fund themselves, or worryingly, they might use this money to fund terrorism. To stop the spread of cybercrime and to safeguard the interest of people, the government has made several laws related to this. Also, these laws serve as protection against cybercrime. Apart from that, the government has also introduced cyber cells in police stations to encounter the problems of these crimes as fast as they can. Now that we have these cyber laws, it is our responsibility to take steps to prevent these crimes. Protection measures must be taken if we want to secure ourselves. Some ways to prevent this from happening to you are: be alert to the fact that scams exist. Know who you are dealing with. If you've only ever met someone online or are unsure of the legitimacy of a business, take some time to do a bit more research. Furthermore, make sure you protect your computer with an antivirus software to combat any contact made between the fraudster and your computer. Half of the people are not even aware of these crimes. We must educate them regarding the usage of computers, internet, credit cards, etc. And always help older people because they aren't very tech savvy and are easier targets for fraud. Above all, cybercrime is a violation of not only law but of human rights too. So be careful and stay safe. Thank you.
I am Bhuvana. Today we are talking about social media crimes and its awareness. Today most of the teenagers addicted to social media. And the first thing your parents has taught you since you were little, don't talk to strangers. As the same rule applies here in online also. In social media, someone posing as a friend may want to chat or talk with you, but just think for a second why an unknown person suddenly want to make up friendship with us. And don't share your personal information until you are sure about the person, and don't even share your photos with them, and never ever meet up with them in real life. Be mindful of photo sharing. It's the age of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, etc. But always remember that use your privacy settings and keep your account safe, and only share with your friends and be safe.
Here are the 5 ways by which you can prevent cyberbullying. Number 1. Talk about it. Tell someone if you're the target of cyberbullying, whether it's your parents, your teachers, a trusted adult, or even your best friend. Never keep the fact that you are cyberbullying to yourself. Number 2. Ignore them. If there is an isolated incident where you are being cyberbullied, just don't respond to the instigator. Those who cyberbully but do not get a response, just move away from the target. Number 3. Never retaliate. Be the bigger person and never retaliate against someone who is mean to you. Retaliation only perpetuates the cycle of violence and does nothing to solve the problem. Number 4. Tell them to stop. For repeated cyberbullying, if ignoring doesn't work, just tell them to stop. Let them know that what they are doing is hurtful. Number 5. Block access to those who cyberbully. Block those who cyberbully you from even contacting you. Most apps and gaming platforms allow you to block certain users from messaging you.
Cyber attacks. The word you might hear increasingly often in this era when everything and everyone is connected. It is absolutely necessary to know how to mitigate or prevent them. But to answer this question, we'll have to understand what are cyber attacks and what causes them. To help bring the point home, let me define cyber attacks. Cyber attack is any attack that deals with one or more computers which leaves the computers vulnerable. What causes cyber attacks, you ask? Long story short, it's all due to sheer ignorance. Most of the cyber attacks are caused by the ignorance of the consumer or the provider. Anything that you neglect and consider easy to ignore can turn into a grave concern, either by us having a weak password or a website not using HTTPS by default. These things may sound trivial, but these are the things exploited for their advantage by the cybercriminals. Your ignorance is their strength. So how can we defend ourselves against cyber attacks? I wish it were easy. Unfortunately, it isn't. But it's still manageable and it's simple. It's presence of mind. Try to differentiate between the good, the bad, and the ugly. Finding it hard to remember a complex password? Why not use a passphrase instead? For example, I am 200% sure that this is a better password than what you are using right now. Keep backups of your data in different places. If you are a service provider, divide your data. Never store large amounts of data in a single place. Try to use the latest security protocols if possible. Again, perhaps you are smart enough to avoid attacks. But how about everyone else around you? It is your duty to educate them. Thanks for tuning in, and this is Mohamed Sami signing off.